What's up everyone, welcome to Penang Watch Guy. My name is Aaron and I'm bringing you the latest news and reviews from the world of watches. Today I'm going to talk about a Rolex watch that isn't just awesome on the outside, but also on the inside. It is no doubt one of Rolex's most complicated pieces, which also makes it one of the most demanded models on the market. I'm talking of course about the Rolex Sky-Dweller. So let's get into it. So back in 2012, the Rolex Sky-Dweller was only available in precious metal, and they were sold for extraordinary prices. For example, the one in Everrose was actually sold for 40 grand US dollars, while the one in white gold, 50 grand. This made them extreme fashion statements rather than watches, and they were quite impractical to own for the standard Rolex buyer. Fast forwarding to 2017, however, and what does Rolex decide to do? They decide to release the Rolex Sky-Dweller in stainless steel version, and at half the price. So this means that you're actually getting the same watch for the same specs, the same design, the same movement, everything in a stainless steel case for only half the price. So suddenly this made them very practical to own, and everyone suddenly wanted a piece of the Sky D. Okay, so I know what you're thinking, right? You're thinking, but Aaron, how can a 25k watch be practical, right? I know that, and I kind of agree, but if you're saving for a Rolex watch, then you already know that they don't really come cheap, do they? And at half the price of the precious metal versions, I would actually say they are a steal. Wait until I get into the features, then you'll understand why. So at the end of the day, if you think that a 25k Rolex watch is simply too expensive, then perhaps the Rolex Sky D isn't what you're looking for. And besides, 25k is actually a lot more achievable than 50k, am I right? Okay, so what are you going to be getting for 25k? First of all, the Rolex Sky-Dweller actually comes with two complications. The first being a GMT, and I would actually call the Rolex Sky-Dweller a true GMT, simply because you can actually set the hour hand and a new time zone without having to stop the entire watch. Secondly, it actually comes with an annual calendar, and to those of you who don't know, an annual calendar is where the watch knows automatically when a month has either 30 days or 31 days. What it doesn't know, however, is the month of February, when it actually has either 28 or 29 days. So essentially this means that as long as you wear the watch every day for the whole year, you only have to set your date once per year. Just once. First world problems, am I right? So now maybe you're thinking, how come Rolex didn't go with the perpetual calendar? A movement that would actually understand when a month has not just 30 or 31 days, but also 28 and 29 days. But instead they opted for the annual calendar instead. Well, I'm going to tell you that having a perpetual calendar may not actually be the best thing. First of all, the annual calendar is actually a lot less complicated. I mean, in order to make the annual calendar mechanism, Rolex only needed 4 parts to put on additionally on top of their date mechanism. So this means that the annual calendar has less parts, it's less complicated, it's less risky to maintain, and it will actually save you more money which you can put in for your next Rolex. Okay, hold up. Did I say that the Rolex Sky-Dweller has 2 complications? Well, I really mean 3. You see, it also comes with the ring command bezel, which is commonly found in the Rolex Yachtmaster 2. Aside from being a heck of a fun thing to play with, it is also really useful. So with the bezel turned all the way to the left and with the crown screwed in, of course, you are actually able to change the minute hand as well as the inner 24-hour ring. This is useful for when you're traveling across time zones and you want to be able to adjust to the new time as fast as possible. The second position allows you to switch the time by changing the hour hand only. So when you switch the hour hand past midnight, the date skips forward, and when you change it backwards, the date actually skips backward as well. And finally, in the last position, you are able to adjust the date as well as a tiny little red box that will jump in between each indices to actually indicate to you what month it really is. So this is super useful, and you never actually have to stop your watch at any time. This is why I call the Rolex Sky-Dweller a true GMT watch. Handling the Rolex Sky-Dweller feels like a dream, to be honest. Everything from the bezel all the way to the case design speaks of the typical quality of Rolex that we have come to expect after so many years. It is also very light, and it fits on my wrist quite well despite it being 43mm. Due to the nature of its complications, it is also very fun to use. I mean, you can just play around with it as long as you know what you're doing to not mess up the mechanism. Okay, so is this watch for you? So I'm gonna help you find the answer, alright? If you're like me, I prefer to wear the Rolex and stay under the radar. I only like people to know when they actually come up close and they'll be like, hey bro, what's that on your wrist? And oh my god, it's a Rolex, right? So I don't want to be the guy who everyone knows has a Rolex on their wrist the minute they walk into the room. So if you're out to get one, make sure that you get the blue sunburst dial because, well, that is my personal preference. I've seen it in real life, guys, and the dial is really something that is out of this world. In different lighting, it actually glows a different shade of blue, if you can believe it. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you head down to the distributor nearest to you and kind of see it in real life for yourself. Content? And now it's time for me to ask you guys a question. If you had the money, would you prefer buying the Rolex Submariner or the stainless steel Rolex Sky-Dweller? Let me know in the comment section below and I'll see you next time.